So you may have heard the news, all the buzz on the street, that letting go is the way to go. But what should we be letting go of exactly? Well, nothing if you want to stay exactly as you are now and keep feeling the way you're feeling forever. And everything if you want to go for it and do the full liberation thing so you merge yourself back into the infinity of source consciousness. But that's a little extreme. So maybe there's some middle path that we could be taking. We can still keep some semblance of this human self that we know and love so much, but we can lighten the load. Just take some rocks out of our knapsack. Because it's like packing when you're going traveling or you're going on a trip. You don't take everything you own. You just fill a backpack or a suitcase with the essential things that you're going to need on the journey. And whether you know it right now or not, you're packing for the journey that you're going to take for the rest of your life. So you might as well only take along the essential stuff and make your load as light as possible. So what are those essential things that you need to pack in your mental suitcase, emotional suitcase, spiritual suitcase to take with you on this journey? And what's the stuff that you can leave behind? Let's break it down. Hey, thanks for stopping by the Zone of Expandedness. I'm Chris. Thanks for hanging out in the Consciousness Salon, where we can take a little bit of time and explore some of the deeper levels that we also activate on in this human journey. Not just this surface level mind where we spend a good solid chunk of our time doing all the shit that we need to do day to day. It's just an opportunity to go a little deeper and see what we can find to let go of. Now that's kind of your business, and it's my business to what I let go of. But let's just start with what's the deal with letting go? Everyone says, oh man, you just gotta let go. You just gotta let go. And then, yeah, all you gotta do is let go. And so what are we letting go of? What is the objective? Why do we want to let go of stuff? And I think it really comes down to we just want to be lighter. We just want to take some rocks out of the knapsack. We accumulate a lot of things as we go through this journey. As someone who recently sold his house that I'd lived in for almost 20 years, raised my kids in, built up a lot of stuff in little drawers in the kitchen and in the bathroom and closets down in the basement. There was stuff I had to go through last year, and I had to look through every single possession that I had, and I had to decide whether I need this going forward. Now, I still hung on to a lot of crap because I'm a human like everybody else, but I did get rid of a lot of stuff, and the load feels lighter just in the possessions that I carry around on a day-to-day basis. So we can do the same thing, not just with our physical possessions, but with our mental body, with ideas, with the emotions and the things we're carrying on the emotional level, and deeper stuff that's we've been hanging on to for like past lives, and it's deeper into our unconscious. We can get rid of some of that stuff too, just to be lighter. Because if you think about this as the journey that you're going to take for the rest of your life, why not just make it a fresh journey? Why not make it a journey where you're in the present moment and just approaching everything that comes at you in life with freshness and newness and curiosity, so that who knows what's coming along? Because when we have things in our head and we have ideas about stuff, I mean, how many times have you do this? I do this all the time. Something presents itself to you and immediately you just go, oh, well, it's that. Or that person's just like that because I just sort of know this already, right? We have all these ideas and things in our head that just block us from freshness and curiosity. Who knows if that person's going to be the same? You're shifting, I'm shifting, everybody's changing. Maybe that person changed too. So when we have this preconceived notion about who this person is or what this situation is, or, oh yeah, that's how things always happen, like blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, how do you know? It might not be that anymore. So just approaching every moment every day, every week that you live, going forward from now with freshness and newness and being present and openness and curiosity. It feels good anyways. It feels lighter. If that's what we're trying to do, if we're really on this awakening journey and we're trying to be lighter, then let's be lighter. And let's get rid of some of the stuff that we've been carrying around. As I said, the mental body, the emotional body, stuff that's trapped in our soma, in physicality, knots and things that we have in there. A lot of it that's, a symptom of deeper stuff that we're holding in the unconscious. So let's start with the mental body. Now, one of the biggest things that we carry around with us in our mental level is the story of me, the story of who I am. And, it's everything we've done our whole life. It's all our memories. It's all this story we tell. If you meet somebody, go, hey, who are you? And you start to go, my name's so-and-so, and this is where I live, and these are the things I do, and this is my job, and this is how I identify myself. And we have these stories that we tell when we meet other people that we know about ourselves. Who am I? It's a great question, but we have ideas. And if we're asked, and if we're on a podcast or we're in an interview, we'll start talking about it. We'll start giving answers to that question. Who am I? What have I done? When did I do it? Where did I do it? We all have these stories of our life. And it's not like you have to let go of it and forget it. And it's like, let's do the memory wipe. It's like, well, I have no idea who I am, because we all know that doesn't really serve us any great purpose either. Kind of disorienting to kind of be here and trying to move about in the human world when we don't have a fucking clue who you are. We need to orient somehow. But to what level do we have to keep carrying around the story of who we are? Just because you were like that 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 50 years ago, you might not be like that anymore. It's not important to identify with maybe jobs you had, relationships you had, religions you once belonged to, ideas that are in your family, because we have a lot of programming that's in here that we get from our surroundings that started really young, that we got from our family, we got at school, we got from the neighborhood that we grew up in, the country we grew up in, the religion we are, the language we speak. We have a lot of ideas about who we are and what our story is. But trying to keep a hold of that idea about being fresh and new and curious and present going forward, how much of that do we really need to hang on to so tightly? Of course, we're never going to forget that we went to high school or this is what my sister's name is. It's not that, but how much of that identity that we present and we project out into the world is really necessary to do if you just want to meet life with newness and curiosity and freshness. Because as we move from the story of who we are, we have a lot of self-importance that we've attached to who we are. We have a lot of pride in things we've done. Maybe we've had functions in the world, we've had careers, we've been parents and family members and members of our community. People have revered us, looked up to us. There's a lot of recognition perhaps that we've received. I mean, think about our social media platforms and how we just like to pump ourselves up and look as good as possible, and we only put pictures there that look really good. We don't get up first thing in the morning when we look like a bag of shit and snap a photo and throw it on Instagram every morning. We're not doing that. We're only putting our best face forward, how we want to be perceived, how we want to be recognized by others. And yeah, you can let go of a lot of that stuff. It kind of weighs you down. Your Instagram profile, your social media profile can kind of be like a bit of an anchor around your neck. And we just want to lighten the load. Really, curiosity, freshness, who fucking cares what you look like or what you once did? It's not that it's not important. It's not that you can't have some appreciation for the journeys you've been through, but you don't need to wave that flag It doesn't need to be what you project and you present. You'll be surprised how much lighter and fresher you feel going forward in your world, and how that story about you and this pride we take in ourselves, it's not that big a deal. And deep down, you know who you are anyways. Deep down, you know what drives you. You know what's important. You know who you are. It's not that important that the rest of the world recognizes it or gives you some award for being the best whatever that you ever have been. It's actually lighter without a lot of that stuff. And I don't know about you, but it seems to be the good stuff. If we're talking about awakening, lightness is the way to go. When we get to our emotional level, damn, do we ever have a lot of stuff. You don't get to be middle-aged as a human without accumulating a fair bit of emotional baggage, just because it's tricky business out there. I mean, we have an intense emotional field. I'm amazed at how sometimes I can be meditating, or I just wake up in the morning and like some embarrassing thing that happened to me in high school, just, you know, it's all of a sudden in my mind, it's still in my field. This is 40 years later, and it's still there, and I'm still feeling this sort of thing. And we have heartbreaks and betrayals and hatreds and grudges and people we won't forgive for things that happened to us, and traumatic experience, things that scared the shit out of us, things that were just, I mean, humans are masters at ways we can create suffering for each other, and we've gone through a fair bit of that on a wide spectrum of experiences by the time you hit the middle of your life. And there's a lot of things there. And if we can act with grace and we can act with compassion for ourselves while we do it, it doesn't mean to be flippant and go, well, who fucking cares if you feel that way? Whatever, you're embarrassed in high school, just let it go, man. It's more with the respect that, like, it's still there for a reason, but at the same time, you can coax it and say, it's not really necessary for that embarrassing moment to still be there 40 years later. I appreciate you. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for letting me know you're still there. But, you know, at the same time, we can, through effort, through practice, we can forgive a lot of people. We can let go of a lot of stuff, and we can look at the stuff where we have an active role keeping it charged within ourselves. Okay? There is a lot of our stuff that we actively keep charged, and just notice that when you're doing that, when it comes up, whatever this thing is, this thing your sister said to you 20 years ago, and you go, yeah, she shouldn't have said that, that was wrong. It's like you're just activating it again, and then you're putting it back in the closet. You take it out, plug it into the charger, give it some juice again, and put it back in the closet. You can let these things just die, and you don't have to plug them back in to charge them again. There's a lot of that. We have joyful memories that we're also attached to, and that leads to us kind of like grasping for more. And it doesn't mean you have to get rid of your joyful memories. It doesn't mean you have to get rid of any memories, but just be perceptive about the role that they are playing in your life. And do you need it anymore? It's like moving, like I just did 20 years in a house. Do you need that anymore? This thing, whatever it is it serving you? Do you need to pack it on the journey for the rest of your life when you're now packing a backpack and you're trying to be lighter and you're moving ahead? What in your emotional field in the way of grudges, betrayals, heartbreaks, do you need to hang on to, or what can you do to actively forgive people, to actively let go? And I don't know, drop a comment down below if you've ever had any experiences with just letting some of this stuff go and then realizing, holy shit, do I ever feel better and lighter when I just let some of this shit go. That's all it kind of comes down to. You're going on the journey for the rest of your life. Just pack light. And a final category is stuff that's in there deeper. Because it's not that we've just even lived this lifetime. We've lived multiple lifetimes in this human realm. And the past 10,000, 20,000 years on this planet have been really traumatic. It's been violent. It's been oppressive. It has been every type of suffering that humans can creatively dream up to inflict on each other. And we've suffered a lot of it. And there's stuff that is deep within us that we have pushed away because it's been so traumatic. And this is like a subject of, could be a whole other video, and there's lots of stuff out there, that this world of like trauma therapy and the recognition of how we can get out there and root this stuff out is really prevalent. It's one of the best things that's going on in the new spiritual movement. It's not just spiritual, but psychologists, like everybody, we got baggage, people. Humanity has baggage. You have it. This whole place has baggage that we got to get at, and we got to root out from deeper within us. So that's a deeper exercise, but it starts with the intention. It starts with intention when some of it surfaces just a little bit. Instead of like pushing it away, it's just like, okay, what's the intention to just like, how am I going to start to deal with this? What can I do? Maybe sometimes you just feel the tip of an iceberg. There's a lot out there going on in the field of like somatic healing, where you don't necessarily even have to go into these memories consciously. You can just feel them, and maybe you do already. Feel them as like pain bodies deep in your system. I know I do. I got this chunk that's like right up here in my upper left side to the left of my heart. It feels sometimes like it's a portal that just goes into my dark caverns of like infinity, it feels like sometimes, but I can just feel it, and I just feel into it. And in the past winter, last winter, I spent a lot of time there just feeling it and just making it almost like a physical experience that I'm just physically releasing. I'm just lying there. I just do it lying down on my back, get into a meditative state. I breathe and I focus on it, and I just try to my best to let it go. Try my best to let it have its moment, let it express what it needs to express, let it kind of come out, let it surface. Hell, whatever it wants to do, because it can be knotted up, all kinds of stuff. But again, that whole field of somatically going there, where you don't have to necessarily take it, pop it up into your mind and make it some concept and give it some words, even give it some emotions like present. Like there might be emotions that go along with it, but just let them kind of bubble up and do their thing and let them release. And you can do it physically. Through your soma, through your bodily sensations, without having to like relive it in your mind. Even you can do it with stuff that happened to you in this lifetime, but man, we got stuff. So yeah, it's a big project. The letting go, that's a full spectrum of letting go, from thoughts, ideas, concepts in our head, stuff we've been programmed with, feelings, emotions, and even that deeper stuff. So yeah, let me know how you guys are making out with this. I know it's an ongoing journey for me, so drop a comment. Where are you at? Things you're stuck on, things that you're happy to have released, gotten rid of. Do you feel lighter? Do you feel better? Does it inspire you to keep going and just do more? So let me know down below. And if you want some more help on your journey with this, I do have my own services as a conscious life coach with a little bit more of a spiritual bent, because that's my game mostly. But the goal is to cover the whole spectrum, from the practical to the emotional to everything, to make you just sing a little louder, richer, and deeper with your life journey. So all my contact info is down below. I'm pretty easy to find. Have your people call my people. We'll set something up. don't have any people. Just drop me a note. I'm pretty easy to get in touch with, and I'd be happy to explore the possibility of working together if that appeals to you. And in the meantime, good luck on your journey. Be brave, be strong. It's not easy being human. It's just not. That's what they should be teaching us in kindergarten. That should be day one, not the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. It's just like, okay, you're a human. This is a big chaotic fucking shitstorm. So you're doing awesome. You really are. And go with lightness. Don't clench it so hard. Seriousness, gentle curiosity. Open that grasp. Deal with it with, just lightness and an open heart, and it'll all go smoother. It's never going to be perfect. It's never going to be without bumps along the way, but they can be less bumpy depending on just the energy we deal with this whole thing, coming from heart-centered consciousness. That's important to be bringing online these days. So travel safe in your human journey, and thanks for stopping by the Zone of Expandedness today. Peace. Lots of love.